Okay, men, try not to say a word for 1 second so I can get something out. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday, April 13th edition of RadioGunk. And what we are doing tonight is basically reviewing what Howard... Okay, there's a Gindaloon making hand signs on the corner there, which is not making me happy right now because you're distracting me. So we're going to talk about Howard's interpretation of a Gilbert eulogy. And by all standards, it was horrible. And his vitriol towards... Gilbert was not to really be believed. And as I said to Xavier earlier today, this is pure Howard because Gilbert died after the show yesterday. He didn't have vacation time. He didn't have 5 days to pull together clips. He didn't have any time whatsoever. So what you heard today is truly how he feels. He feels that Gilbert was cheap. He feels that Gilbert was not a friend. He feels that he really basically owes him nothing other than to say, yeah, well, he was on my show over 140 fucking times, but, whatever. I didn't really know him, and so that's that. And it was actually sad and kind of pathetic that, people were looking forward, I think, to Howard making a nice statement about Gilbert. And all we got was really just like hate and
patronizing,
misplaced, weird vitriol. That's all I can really say. What did you guys think, Dennis?
So, all right, it started off as...
Since you're the only one who listens to it in real time.
So, it started off as bad as I could imagine it did, where he had the fake caller call in.
That's right.
Oh, God.
And he fake pretended not knowing that Gilbert died. He tried to make a bit out of it to start with, which was really incredibly unfunny, kind of infuriating. And then... went into this whole tirade about how cheap he was, how he just never knew how to do his character. He was terrible at the business.
He didn't listen to me. He didn't listen to my attempts at... right?
No, he basically said, at one point he's like, I told him, just do Dracula Gottfried. That's really good. Just keep doing that. He did not understand what was so funny about doing Bela Lugosi doing Dracula and then coming out of character as Bela Lugosi and talking to people and then being incredibly inappropriate as Bela Lugosi doing Dracula. The thing that killed me about, worst of all, was all he focused on was that he was cheap and that he got himself in trouble and didn't seem to be able to keep jobs, even though he stayed pure to his comedy. And that's what made Gilbert loved, and that's what made Gilbert a bigger star than Howard would ever be because of that. And the other thing that killed me, though, is it showed his true sociopathic, narcissistic way. He is serial killer level of sociopath.
Dennis
I'm dead serious.
I think he's just too lazy.
Jeffrey Dahmer was a better human being than Howard Stern. 100% I will agree with that at this point.
Takes testosterone ambition to kill. He's too lazy for it.
I mean, so cowardly to attack somebody after they die. I mean, that is cowardness on a whole nother level. You cannot be that cowardly. Except if you're Howard Stern.
So I just want to start with how he started off his day.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey now.
Nice energy.
Just Gilbert Gottfried died.
What?
And,
Hello?
Jesus Christ.
What? He can't even play himself.
yeah.
Hello?
I'm here.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
Hello.
This is the start of the show.
Hello, Gilbert Gottfried died. I'm sure you heard.
What?
Motherfucker.
No. You didn't
Chat's
hear?
going crazy.
What?
This is...
He died yesterday.
Really?
Some ill...
Okay, so that's how it started. Let me just go to the second clip because they go hand in hand.
Archie, I know. I actually, I believe it or not.
Terrible acting.
I go, what?
I go, what?
Yes, I know. But the difference between me and Gilbert is Gilbert would have carried that on for 7 hours.
And made it fun.
Yeah, and it would have been hysterical, you asshole. That's the difference between the two of you. So that's the way the show started. Yes, he knew about it, of course, in the morning. He found out about it. A friend called to let him know that he was dying. and then he wound up passing away. So he knew about it yesterday.
Of course he did. Of course.
Which means that if Jimmy called him about it, he may have known while he was still on the air and chose not to, really do anything about it. And the interesting thing is he did not have time to really prepare a Gilbert-centric show.
That's when you get him on the day of. He's used to have
literally,
3
they
weeks
almost
off in
stole
between.
from like our show and,
yes.
went to like a best of Gilbert,
Of course.
segment
They
on
have
YouTube.
people up all night, Monique, doing that. Looking
They-
for that's
the-
why they have
the
70
worst-
people.
The worst part of all was that they actually pulled from the Hugh Hefner roast. I mean, Gilbert was on 122 times.
There's no way they
122
would do
times.
that. They
And
do
they,
this
they
to us.
go pull from a Comedy Central
How weird
roast.
is that?
You get in
The one we talked about last
I
night.
know.
That's right.
So weird that
we
that
called
happened.
it. We said they're gonna fucking rip us off.
And they
How
did.
many
Man.
shows? How many shows was he on, Dennis?
122.
122 shows, and they picked a
122
roast
shows.
that was not of them.
Correct.
And there are so
He took
many.
credit for
it's-
that roast, Monique.
Yes, I was going
Yeah.
through tons of clips today, and there was so much funny stuff, especially like him and Artie when they get going.
Yeah.
It's
Back and
just, pure joy, pure laughter that is real and true and funny. And the fact that you would give that up so that you can interview Billie Eilish is actually shocking to me.
That's a perfect.
Yeah.
You know,
Stig
that's
303.
right. That Miley Cyrus is more important than having a show where we're all out there listening to it and just laughing our asses off. And that's the shame of the show.
In his little mind, that is exactly the way it should be, because that makes him more famous in his little
Yes, of
mind.
course, that's all
Because he
that
doesn't
matters.
understand that most of America doesn't know who the hell he is. He really doesn't grasp that anymore, that he's irrelevant.
At this point, absolutely.
Well, let's go
There's like
under
there's
40.
an entire generation of people
How
who
about that
have no
opening,
fucking
though?
idea who Howard is.
No
at
idea.
this point.
Stig 303 writes, nothing says condolences like a fucked out Rob Zombie track.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Classic Stig.
Where am I
303.
showing thigh? I don't see that I'm doing anything. Was I?
What happened?
I don't know what I'm doing.
Hang on, the person from the Stern Show is trying to write down these shit. So
Yeah, we got to go slower.
You gotta
They-
slow it
remember, they're
down.
doing a thing this. They're doing a thing this
Hang on.
weekend, so we got to give them all the hints what to
Are
put
they?
this weekend. Yeah, they are.
If the person
101.
listening from the Stern Show could just give us their email, we can just send them a copy of the
Yeah,
show.
we'll make it a lot easier because we have a list.
Yeah.
It's organized.
So John
out to
Hine,
sea
man in
at-
charge
Well,
of
Lotus
101,
noted.
will be doing a Gilbert
Lotus Notes.
Yes. Rashawn.
presentation. Okay, that's what's going on. Yes, everybody, Tiger Lily is hot. I've never seen a picture of her. I've never heard her voice, but I'm just assuming that what Gary Puppet says is correct.
I was shocked to hear. I had no idea. I haven't been in touch with
I
Gilbert.
wondered
for-
if you had heard that he was ill. I hadn't.
I heard that morning from somebody who contacted me.
Ah,
But the morning that he was
Oh, yeah.
dying,
yeah.
and
Ooh.
he wanted me to know, and I was like, "Oh gosh, that's awful."
Well, sincere.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
that
they-
that
That's
is.
literally the see. I love to keep the pauses in because they shock and amaze me that he is allowed to be that way and deliver. What are we looking at?
Tiger Lily.
What did she say? I'm a dude. This I know not to be true. Anybody who takes in a baby squirrel, not a dude.
Yeah, that's not a dude.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Tuchis. Has anyone ever farted in the shower whilst soap suds ran down your booty hole and the clash of water, fart, and suds produced a crazy smell or sound? Okay, Midget Mac. Yes, I love when somebody.
I'll get
lets
right
it
on.
out.
I'll get right on that.
Yeah, we're gonna get right on
I'll
that.
get right on that one.
Quiet
So-
as a titmouse.
Yes,
Yes.
a titmouse.
Is that going to be David's new masterpiece?
Titmouse?
Yeah,
Quiet as a titmouse.
Titmouse
Yeah.
concerto in B minor.
Concerto in D minor.
What's
In
a
T
concerto?
minor?
Imagine David doing the soundtrack for Uncle Vanya.
No,
Oh,
I
that is a
imagine
dream team.
John and Sarah talking for 17 fucking hours about a court case where all we saw was one part of an elevator and a static camera looking at the
Are you
audience.
serious?
I think that's the most insanity I've ever seen. Yet people were transfixed.
CP time is nothing on Monique time. You showed up at the 6 hour and 20-minute mark.
I mean,
After you and Xavier probably talked for 6 hours during the Isaac
So-
Baruch
Absolutely.
testimony.
Absolutely.
The Eugene up there. Look at him.
that is very
Joel.
Eugene. So I have just a total diversion here. So, like, what are they doing now? Is it just discovery at this point, or are they just it's kind of like are they-
Witnesses.
Just
Depp's
witnesses.
Yeah. His sister was yesterday.
Wow.
Very demure. His manager of 30-ish years. And by the way, his sister stole $7.1 million from him. They haven't brought it up in
His
the trial. It's in the
sister.
document. I swear to God.
Jesus Christ.
And that's why she's testifying for him. He'll probably throw it out.
Wow. That's
look,
craziness.
David said-
Quote, misappropriated funds.
Wow. David said, I promised Sam I'll write fake Edward Scissorhands Elfman public domain music for the Deppening.
Nice.
David
Ah,
is
there you
Danny.
go.
I'm telling you, he's David Elfman. He is a virtuoso. I'm telling you, he's just a genius boy. IQ too high for this show, for the Stern Show.
So here's
Exactly.
what so let's just play a lot of clips about Howard's eulogy for Gilbert, as Phineas is letting us know right now. So here's a couple. I'm just going to go through them.
So who knew that? But he always listen. He never looked like the picture of health, but I never considered
No.
that he wasn't healthy. I don't think about those things, but nevertheless, I guess Gilbert was suffering at the end, and it was a pretty quiet thing.
So he got into this pretty quiet thing and got into the appendicitis thing,
Oh God.
which
Yeah.
led into a whole conversation about how cheap he was, and that started like a whole nother thank you. I am
Howard, who wouldn't pay for bottled water in the
appreciate
green room?
you. Yeah, exactly.
K-Rock,
Exactly.
$32
All right, so
million
here he
a year.
is in the
Exactly.
hospital with appendicitis. So let's listen to that.
Oh God.
Which probably really annoyed Gilbert that no one picked up that he was ill and it wasn't in the newspaper, because years ago Gilbert got a terrible appendicitis attack, had to have his appendix removed. And Gilbert would not call a hospital or an ambulance because he was afraid that it would cost a lot of money.
But not
So he
only
just-
that, the headlines. Remember, he talked about, I didn't want to see that headline, so he was going to stay in his apartment and die,
Yeah.
so that nobody
was-
would write comedian, blah, blah, blah.
Dennis Miller.
He was very afraid that, of course, the newspapers would get a hold of his illness.
Jesus.
Poland's
So Gilbert
How is this even funny, even remotely, even slightly, even
There's nothing.
chuckle puss worthy?
It is literally. It is like such passive
Passive
aggressiveness.
aggressive.
Totally.
And
I'm
you know
too
what's that other
famous for
fu-
you.
and what's so funny is that we discussed this last night. Another thing we discussed last night. And this is what he runs to, this really unfunny story about a guy that had appendicitis and was sick in the hospital. I mean, just utterly just bizarre. But the end of it's the key. The end of this clip's the key.
All right, thank you, Shane.
Too bad he's not on the 112
Mo, I think
benefit
Stuttering
plan.
John may
Yeah.
be pissed that you mentioned Dabblers Anonymous. Yeah, he's that petty. I didn't think I was mentioning anything. Listen, there was no codicil that told me I could say
Codicil.
something or not say
Turgid
something.
codicils.
Do you have the end of that clip, or is that it?
Oh, no, I'm going right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Gilbert eventually had to go to the hospital. They took him because he was close to death. He was
Oh, I know.
poisoning his
Popcorn,
body with
tins,
this
tomato.
appendix attack, and he was in tremendous pain. He went. And and he developed an infection, and he was in the hospital way longer than most people would normally be.
Well, when your appendix
And-
bursts inside of you because you're just hanging out
Nurse
with
Ratchet.
it poisons your whole body. He had septicemia, I'm sure.
So he was in the hospital for weeks, and word got back to me that he was upset that
Crypt Keeper, Armenia.
at first he was like, I don't want the papers to find out, and then when the papers didn't find out, he was like, how could I'm in the hospital for weeks, nobody cares.
All right, let's continue on.
Jeez.
So
this is disturbing.
we're still in the hospital. We still have appendicitis, and we find out how cheap Gilbert really is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there were there were people who went to see Gilbert, and it was a weird scene because I'd never met Gilbert's mom and his sister before, and it was just amazing to even think that Gilbert had a family.
Usually you
So
reach
I
out
was
to
like,
family.
wow, there's Gilbert's family. And I've told this story a million times about Gilbert, but Gilbert
haven't.
was very, very upset and infamously cheap. He wouldn't buy himself things. So when I was there, he said, do you think you could get me some... He wouldn't even put it like that. He'd go, I have the wrong kind of underwear. I need underwear that doesn't have such a tight elastic because it's upsetting my appendix wound, I go, well, why don't you...
Do you hear all the verve and the jolliness and
Yeah.
jovialness
Yeah.
that befits a person who has been on your show for 122 times?
Even if that were true, how many assistants does he have that could just pull that off in like 5 minutes? Has he ever bought underwear for himself anyway?
No.
He could easily.
No,
and by
no.
the way, what year is
Oh,
this story
no.
from? This is the only thing. This is what he's going back to. This is
I mean,
like
he
the
could
last
literally-
It's got to be in the
incident.
90s, right? This is the 90s, mid 90s, I think.
Has to be.
Yeah, it's
It's
because
so
Absolutely.
dated.
mid 90s,
everywhere.
yeah.
I
Because
know,
Gilbert's
it's-
mom's still alive, so yeah, it's like
I
mid
think it's the mid
90s.
90s. I think you're right. It's like 94, 95.
Greenpoint
Yeah.
says this has the same energy as when one of the Jesus twins died. The living one called in and how it was a complete prick to him. It was disgusting.
Because it's not about Howard. That's why Howard doesn't give a shit.
Well, he doesn't
He
up
could've-
his fame quotient. That's the big thing.
He could have taken the high road and said, man, he brought so much to our show. Thank you, Gilbert. Rest in peace. And that would
Yeah,
have been
could've.
fucking 1,000 times better than the shit that he pulled
Exactly.
today.
Oh, Azores,
There's a, there's a
1992.
million stores. Why don't
Okay.
you just buy some new underwear? Oh, I don't know. And then he asked me. He's asking me about pajamas and a bathrobe. And then he said, I don't really own a digital thermometer. And when I go home, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And it was a very strange conversation. And I said, I think this guy's asking me to buy him pajamas, a bathrobe, and a digital thermometer.
The
So
over enunciating. It's just
I
driving me
know.
crazy.
It's so weird.
Every syllable is so precious to stretch the word out. to
Fill
fill
And
time.
again,
'cause he's not-
122 times on the show, and we stretched out the appendicitis show for at least a solid half hour.
It would take hour and a half hour to say the word pen.
It was only 40 minutes total. It was only 40 minutes. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all he gave him, and this was
20
15,
minutes of it was the appendicitis.
Yeah, it was
at
15
least.
to 20 minutes was this story.
Yes. Here we go. Some more.
I got myself together. I bought him pajamas. I bought him a bathrobe. I bought
I got myself
Me,
together as
me,
if there was like some
me.
sort of.
That's getting yourself
me,
together.
me.
me. That's right. The keyword's me.
Yeah, here we go.
him underpants. Got him the
Underpants.
digital thermometer.
Underpants.
I sent
Panties.
it over to
Tommy
his
Jones.
place. And then I think I started. Then he was telling me that. So I called him again to check on him. This is why I don't check on anybody, because I always end up getting suckered into taking care of them. This is like with my parents.
Okay,
That's suckered.
that's sociopathic. I mean,
Yeah.
that's seriously that is clearly sociopathic. You got suckered into taking care of the people that gave you life, took care of you, paid for all your crap to go to your crap school and get your crap degree, bought you cars, got you set up in your first place to live, and it's a burden to you to take care of them.
Yes,
right.
Wow.
you called
Wow.
it. I saw that, and we put it
Yep.
up on the screen
Yep.
yesterday.
Yep.
You said that he was absolutely going to go to the underwear story when Gilbert had his pen, as if this was such because it was about him. It wasn't
Yeah.
about Gilbert.
Oh, absolutely, 100%
It was
all
about
him.
being able to shine the light on Gilbert's cheapness and Howard being such the humanitarian, such the selfless individual that he would get himself together and go out and buy Gilbert the things that he needed. I mean, it's really just kind of psychotic when you think about it. This is why I clipped so much of this because, I mean, I couldn't clip the whole thing or else
Right.
we'd
Oh,
be
you did a great job.
talking
already.
through the whole thing, but so much of it, and I'm really loving the word salient, but so much of it is
Ooh.
like salient to
Turgidly
how
salient.
he really feels because
Turgid.
he didn't have the time to carefully construct a syllabus that made sense to all of us in terms of being a true Gilbert
Memoria.
tribute.
Well, you could see him how
Thank you, Marta, new person I don't know. You're so pretty if that's you.
Thank you.
you so much. So let's go on to this one. I thought this was a really great clip. It's 2 minutes long. I'm going to break it down so that we don't get in trouble, but this was kind of weird and bizarre to me.
Those were the only two real private conversations. And then professionally, I thought Gilbert was one of the most naturally funny, most gifted human beings on the planet.
An actual
And for a
compliment.
while, I actually was under the delusion that I could produce him, that I could
What?
turn him into the world's most successful comic because he had such natural
What a
talent. It was like
douche.
finding a diamond in the rough. It was like
Jesus
finding a piece
Christ.
of coal
You found him, just so you know.
You found them.
and like
You
Superman,
discovered
I would
Gilbert.
squeeze
He
the
was
coal
watching
and
Aladdin.
turn him into a diamond. That was my impression of Gilbert.
Yes.
And so when I had this TV show,
You would think that Gilbert was Sour Shoes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
the way
Right.
he's talking about
Like
him.
literally, okay. He
Thank you,
did
Zach
like
Cat.
what 2 minutes on Son of the Beach, but he was on that USA Today night
Oh,
Friday
up all
show
night. Up
for
all night.
fucking ever. But
Ron
Howard
Shear.
discovered him.
Yeah. Well,
You
listen
know
to
how
us.
you
Listen
know
to
how many
us.
TV cameos and guest spots. He had a great career.
Dude, he did-
He had the career where you just do a little spot, get out of there, come back.
Yes.
He did all the
Howard Show had
80s, like-
nothing with his career. If anything,
Yeah.
Howard Show was a hindrance on his career because
Yeah.
he
Exactly.
couldn't be associated with it. He didn't get cast in shit because of Howard. All his voiceovers for Disney with the David soundtrack. That's
Yes,
not, it worked against him.
Yes, 1,000% Azores, because Xavier and I talked about this today. I could produce him. Wasn't he going to introduce Beth to the world? Right. So, how big of a producer was he? Well, okay, so let's listen to the rest of the clip, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
Little TV show for sure, just a local television show. Gilbert, I said to him, Gilbert, would you do your character, Gilbert Dice Clay? He did a perfect Andrew Dice Clay impression, and it was really funny. And I said, what I need you to do is stick to the character. It'll be so funny. And I knew that Gilbert had been on Saturday Night Live, and it didn't work out for him. He was only on for 12 episodes, but it didn't matter to him. In other words, it was my shit that I was pinning on him. I wanted Gilbert to be the most successful, the most celebrated comedian in the
What the fuck is he talking about?
I'm
Seriously.
looking at Gilbert's IMDb, and just as an actor alone, he has like
crazy.
185 credits.
And Howard's the guy
185.
you want TV advice from. He failed in everything he's done as a
and
producer.
Howard has 8 real credits on IMDb, right? About 8.
And all
If
of them are
that-
him.
Real-
all of
real-
them are him.
Playing himself.
Real?
They're
I don't know
all
about
him.
that. And I wouldn't even go with 8. I think it's all localized bullshit on Channel 9. I wouldn't
no.
even give him 8. I wouldn't even
Private
give
Parts, Larry Sanders Show.
him 8. Yeah, but that's a cameo.
And
It's not
remember,
even-
They're
He
all
was-
him.
He was
him.
even
He's playing
in-
himself.
Playing
he
himself.
was
himself.
even in the Dice movie, that Fort Fairlane.
That's
Yes,
right.
he was. He played the disc jockey.
Yeah, it's like he was in Beverly Hills Cop 2.
He was the
on
voice
the
of,
Cosby Show.
Mixoplick in the Superman animated
dude,
series.
the
Oh my
dude who-
God.
I
like,
swear to God.
Wow.
yeah.
You know, you're so right, Howard's fluffy duty. The weird cadence in his voice is creepy
Yes,
as fuck.
it is.
I
Oh,
agree.
That's
it's really
sociopathic.
weird. I
That-
feel like he's almost medicated. It's really weird. So let's finish the clip. Let's finish the clip.
world because I knew he had the natural talent. But Gilbert didn't want to be pushed. I always tried to tell Gilbert what to do. I said, why don't you come on and be Andrew Dice Clay? Why don't you come on and just do your vampire character? In
is so
fact, one time I
delusional.
hired Gilbert when I was producing Son of the Beach, the TV show. Tim Stack had written a script for him where he played his vampire character, his vampire, which was so funny.
Thanks,
It was
Stevie.
a rabbi who gets bitten by a vampire.
No.
And he's a Jewish vampire.
Oh my
And it's
God.
the funniest fucking thing ever.
That Fred wrote.
So I was like,
Jackie
oh,
wrote.
if Gilbert could just stick to a character, he'd be great on a Saturday Night Live. He'd be a great entertainer. And if he
What?
just updated his act, he'd be. I was
I hate
always
him.
frustrated with Gilbert.
I hate him.
Yeah,
What
see-
is he
see how-
talking about?
X,
is
can
how
you
it's
rat-
going.
X, can you rattle off his credit? You have IMDb? Rattle off
I
his credits.
I'd gladly.
Just rattle them off.
Yeah, okay.
Just
I'm
read
actually
them
going to
all.
skimp around. Beavis and Butthead. He was in Aladdin, obviously. Let's see, Cosby Show, Night Court. I mean, this is I'm still in the 80s
These
here.
are number one hits.
Yeah,
of those,
Problem
like-
Child, Muppets. He was The Parenthood, Married with Children,
Huge hit.
Aladdin. Are You Afraid of Dark? Aladdin on Ice, Mad About You, Wings, Timon and Pumbaa, The Twisted Tales, blah blah blah. I mean, literally, it just goes on and on
It's
and
insane.
on and on.
150 or something?
185.
185.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
He was on
But
Saturday Night
Howard
Live.
offered him a little clip of Son of a Beach, and that was
So-
supposed
Yeah.
to really,
So
no, just go ahead,
make his career. It's so funny though. Howard doesn't understand the Dracula Gottfried. He doesn't get that he's doing the Bela Lugosi Dracula.
right.
And but make him a little Jewish, but he's doing Bela Lugosi. He does
Right.
not get that, and that's what makes it so funny is that he's doing an imitation.
Just
of
like he
Bela-
doesn't get the
Yeah.
Groucho Marx.
Yeah, exactly.
Groucho Marx is like old Groucho Marx.
Exactly.
Not with the Marx brothers.
And wait.
Like,
They pointed that out after we did.
yes.
Right. But actually, even funnier is that it's the Bela Lugosi played by Martin Landau from
Ed
Planet
Wood.
Nine from Ed Wood.
Right.
which is so disturbing about the whole thing, and that's why it's so incredibly funny. But Howard doesn't understand comedy at all, and it shows.
Just out of curiosity, what year was Son of the Beach? Do anybody remember?
Late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay,
like
here's
99.
then this is really funny. Gilbert didn't list that on his IMDb.
Is it really not on there?
I'm looking at 98 through 99, right? Because I'm assuming that's when the
Yeah. It was like 2000.
Maybe
Might be,
here,
2000.
might be
hang on.
2001, 2000.
Yeah.
2000. Okay, let
Yeah.
me look. Let me look.
Go
Let me
to
look. Yes,
that.
yes,
It's so vast, you can't even. You're only on 99, and you have to scroll up
So
to get to
Death
2000. That's how big his
Mask.
IMDb
Oh,
is.
there it is.
Oh,
2001,
it's there.
2002.
What's
Son
the name of the
Beach.
character?
It's in between House of Mouse and Kingdom of Hearts.
Oh, I love House of Mouse.
See it?
He was on House of Mouse.
And then he did CSI, Crankjackers. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
You know, it's so funny. It's almost like him telling, what's his face?
Billy West?
Billy West to say, you know what, stick with Marge Schott. That's going to be something that's really going to make you popular and famous as you go forward, right?
He wasn't even on Hannah Montana.
What,
Yeah.
you know how much
Sesame Street.
you know how
Jesus
much
Christ.
Saturday Night Live cast members got on that show back then? 70 grand a year. What does he need it for? You know how successful he is outside of that show? How much
on
So
30
true.
Rock.
Stick
that
red
show?
pill. It's infuriating, like a house painter saying Warhol could have been bigger if he had only
Exactly.
listened to him. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wait,
and-
listen to the
Order.
next one. The next one's going to make you
Well,
upset
Matt
too.
TV.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
love
right.
making you upset. Let me make you more upset. Here we go.
Rupert Pumpkin's got a great
Yeah,
cooking.
and-
Couple more
and
pointed-
So when I would try to, sort of program Gilbert, I said, Gilbert, I got
Program
a
him.
great idea for you. You're going to do this, 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 and this, because I had heard him do this stuff.
Program
But
him.
if you told him to do it, he was very resistant. He wanted his career to go a certain way.
Sour Gottfried.
Yeah,
And
successful.
he didn't care what anybody might say to him or produce him or any of that stuff.
Yes, Tiger Lily.
You know, Gilbert could have been in a MasterCard commercial.
Probably was for all
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
Look
Gilbert
at
could
he's
have been on
probably in
Mom
there.
Caves.
Maybe you guys ever see, like, ever look at her fucking her hands during that commercial?
Yeah,
They're all
Princess
shaking
Manhand.
and shit.
Yep.
It looks like she just did some Montana Staff Sugar.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I bet it did. The thing is, the Dorian Morgan pointed out he also didn't get the Dice impersonation. He didn't get that. He didn't get why that was funny because it's
No.
so over exaggerated
Exactly.
and utterly ridiculous.
Dice
I
hated
just
it too.
and he always
Dice
had
hated
the
it.
oversized jacket on.
Yep.
I mean, the
Yeah.
Oversized.
ridiculous,
Like just huge
And
shoulder
he did the
pads.
cigar thing.
ridiculous.
He was smoking.
Dice
he would take
hated
a
it,
drag of the
Seinfeld
cigar
hated it.
behind his head.
But by the way, he did that to placate to Howard because Howard was feuding with Dice at the time. So it was like, Gilbert, go after Dice because I can't do it. And that was Dice hate like Seinfeld. Rupert Pumpkin writes here. This is
He
a good
is
point.
pissing on Gilbert's grave, Frank.
Yes, he
Yep.
is.
Yeah.
One,
Gilbert
no other
was
word
on
to describe it.
he is
SNL.
taking a shit on his fucking grave.
Howard's obsessed with the Saturday Night Live dry humping is fucking so straight. We got to get into that someday. It's something to do with Marcy and this weird. We'll get into that.
No, it's all Hamptons. It's Hamptons Circle
and
Jerk.
Hamptons.
Hamptons Circle Jerk, man.
And
Well,
Alan.
to
And
be
he's
fair-
also jealous. He's
To be
jealous
fair,
of
you know,
Sarah.
Gilbert never got a Blockbuster award.
That's true.
Rupert Pumpkin writes here. Gilbert's on SNL when Howie was wearing blackface on PD Green's DC. Rupert, you're so right. I don't even think he knew he was
Yeah,
on
it's like,
at all. You're so right.
and is this supposed to be funny? What he's doing right now? Is it supposed to
No.
be funny shtick? Is it-
Comedy?
Is it supposed to be
I
sad?
guess.
What-
I don't know.
Who is
I
this
don't.
for?
It's
What
just
is this
like
show?
literally fucking Grandpa Simpson type of shit.
It's really old man yelling at clouds. All right.
Tiger
I'm
Lily
gonna
says
put
my
more
kids
clips.
know who Gilbert is. They have no idea who
Yes,
Howard
they have
is.
no idea who Howard
They're in
is.
their 20s.
I did not do a lot on the potato today simply because I don't care.
Nothing
So-
missed.
Let me explain the potato interview because everybody was going. Why aren't they mentioning Gilbert? And that's because he wanted to be Nevergreen, which is utterly ridiculous. Because everything that potato talked about is going to be completely useless in 6 months. I mean, there's
Did
no way.
they get
you can-
into the slap?
Yes, they actually talked about that nonsense, and they talked about projects she has coming out, her tour, and it's like, why are you trying to make this Nevergreen? Because your content in there doesn't hold up. In a year, no one's going to care about anything that you talked about in this.
Well,
because
Dennis,
it's-
did her plagiarism come up with 15 million?
No, of
views?
course
no,
not.
No, it didn't come up again. It was
yeah.
so funny. She
Or-
came
or
on the show 2
the
weeks
slap
after
to
that,
the
and he
face
said nothing. And
of the Stern Show. Like why she
So
was on
did
the
they-
other show, not
Yeah.
his.
Yes, all right. So she did explain
What's
that.
the excuse?
Ooh.
Oh, this is so priceless. It is the Big Piggy said that her son gave her some sort of cold thing or something, and she had like a cold, and she was
That lasted an
coughing,
hour?
and she yeah, and that's why she couldn't be on the show because her son gave her something.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
you know how kids
Career
are. She went to
advice.
Howard.
Mom, if you go on the show, you're gonna fuck up that story.
Mommy,
Go on
Mom,
the show with the
Mom.
people watch.
Right.
Mom, don't go on. Mom. Mommy, Mama, Ma.
So-
That's why celebrities have
And
kids.
then pointing out
Excuses.
also in the
Wow.
chat, Miss Beaverhausen. That
Beaverhausen!
Miss Beaverhausen.
Get to the
So-
Beaverhausen!
So, Potato did make an insane claim that during the Oscars, when they did that bit where she was sitting out in the audience with
I
Kirsten
didn't watch
Dunst. All right, I didn't either. This is what that big blob said. And that
I don't believe
somehow or
it.
the other caused such an uproar that the Secret Service called her. She actually said that. She is so friggin' delusional. The Secret Service is not going to be calling you because you were
Secret Service.
Secret Service.
Howard,
I,
What
I,
was she
I can,
humping Nancy Pelosi? Like what? Why would the Secret Service?
even that would not
have
warrant the
anything to
Secret
do-
Service.
No. What do they have to do with anything that has to do with the Oscars?
Exactly. That is literally the incredible lies that this thing can tell. I mean, it was. I'm like, I didn't hear that
Frank Zen
right.
Potato is Amy Schumer. We call
Oh
her
yeah,
Potato.
sorry about that. It's the potato.
She's called the Potato.
Or
And not by us, by pretty much everyone.
everybody out there is Amy Schumer or potato. Just search that on Google.
Well, so
You'll
the
understand.
only thing I have from Amy Schumer today, and I just happened to catch it, was her asking why Howard is so fucking paranoid about COVID. And where is this stemming from? Why is he like such a freak about it?
I'll
Nah,
tell you
he doesn't wanna
why.
go back to work.
Doesn't go back to work.
Read it.
And
That's how it is.
I
He
wonder
didn't
what
give a
What's
shit
at the
about
root of
COVID.
that?
He just didn't want to go back to
Oh,
work.
I know exactly.
Okay, you guys have to listen, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Therapy.
Oh,
I'm in therapy.
What is it? I
I see-
said the hair thing. You know, you gotta.
I see people as vampires and they're going to infect me.
Well, where does that come from?
Where do you think it comes from?
Narcissism.
Your
The
mom?
burden, well, the burden of taking care
Oh God.
of,
Humble brag.
people who need to be taken care of.
Jesus
What the
Christ.
And
fuck does
it's
that
a
mean?
tremendous weight when you're a little kid to carry that weight.
Oh God.
Little kid.
Yeah.
Collective soul
Yeah,
song.
so
he's
basically
quoting.
he's blaming the fact that he's paranoid about going out on taking care of his mother when he was a child. I don't even understand it, but that was his off-the-cuff, riffy answer. You know, he never likes to answer a personal question, so I'm sure he was taken by surprise with Amy saying, why are you so fucking scared of the world? Like, still, like, why are you not going out? Yes, you're right, David, completely. The problem with a lot of these gotcha questions to Howard is he has well-rehearsed and carefully planned answers that stave off any follow-up.
Spot
That's
on,
exactly right.
As always.
You know, you kind of have to realize that when he's in these hours of therapy, that these types of questions are probably brought up and they work the answers out. No, I mean seriously, especially him
if he
hiding.
has-
No, him
he's
hiding
too
at
lazy.
home. But
Yeah.
no, him
There's
hiding home and
excuses
all,
for everything,
making
that's right.
making excuses up. He works them over with the doctor to make it almost sound rational.
But also, absolutely, Dennis. But also to sound deep. He
Yes.
thinks he's deep,
Yes.
and he's not deep at all. Anyone can see right through it. He's trying.
Right,
I'm in
that he's
therapy, I'm
digging
involved.
deep into
Look at me,
why, the reasons why he
I'm a
can't
Trent
leave
Reznor
his
song.
house.
Yep.
Right, he's digging deep
I'm
into
afraid of
this.
America. I'm afraid of the world.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
afraid
exactly
that's
right.
What, that's his, he thinks that's his anthem, and it's
So-
fake. And it's,
So after this, we had a caller named Phil call in, and
Phil.
I truly believe that Phil was I believe that Phil was a real caller, but I also believe he was a delicious troll because Phil went to a gay party in Brooklyn and wanted to know if Howard wanted to hear about it. Phil turns out to also be a fireman. Phil also turns out to be a lawyer.
oh God.
And then Phil really gave him the fucking gotcha at the end of this. So let me play clip
That's
number
a,
one.
That's a
because
great
it's really-
trolling thing for the screener to get on.
Oh, it's
All
delicious.
his favorite things.
It's actually delicious.
Badge
Here we go.
Bunny.
Hang on.
All right, let's go to Phil in New York. Phil, you're on the air. What's up?
Good morning. Right before COVID, I attended a big party in Brooklyn, and it was a party catered to gay guys, and it was basically a sex party. About 75 guys
It's the
participating.
staff.
Thought you'd like to know a little bit about it.
Are you gay?
Yes, yes.
And you
Most
say
shit.
before COVID you went to a gay sex party with 75 guys. Well, sure, I'd be interested. What the hell happened?
Oh,
Of course he was interested.
Oh,
So the guy goes
super.
into like this whole gay story,
Half hour.
and of course, then Super Twink of the Stern Show comes on to
Oh,
add
yeah.
his 2 cents to
Yep.
it, and of course he wanted to hear about the sexcapades of a sex party in Brooklyn. So he had this guy on also for about a half hour,
Yes, he did.
and at the end of the call, this happened, and I love this. My favorite clip of the day.
To
Okay,
call
and
in
what-
and finish this fabulous story.
One last question, if you don't mind. Well, first, my condolences on the loss of Gilbert. I know you guys.
Yes. He would have loved you and would have loved this call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question is, Gilbert was an anchor on the show for many years. I heard him give an interview once, and he said he didn't know why he stopped being invited, and he was a little bit hurt financially and
Yes.
emotionally. Would you mind telling us why did you stop inviting
Not
Gilbert
at
on the show?
all. It wasn't any great mystery. I mean, I'll tell you what. How about when you call back in, I'll go through the whole story with you. Is that fair?
I would love that.
Ah.
Thank you for your support of Gay people. Have a lovely day.
You
Bye-bye.
bet. All right.
Call back on Monday, Tuesday, every day. Make him a regular, Howard.
Okay, he could not answer the question.
Absolutely. He went to the "How does a check work?"
Yeah,
type
pretty
of
much.
response.
He couldn't answer the question. I have to wait until my people give me an answer that makes sense. And not only do I want you to call back next week, where I don't believe he's actually
He's off next
in.
week. He's off next week.
So
You play that again. That was actually delicious. I want to hear the
It
panic.
was delicious, wasn't it?
I want to hear the panic in Howard's fucking
Yes,
voice.
it was quite delicious. Here we go.
To
Okay,
call
and
in
what-
and finish this fabulous story.
One last question, if you don't mind. Well, first, my condolences on the loss of Gilbert. I know you guys.
Yes. He would have loved you and would have loved this call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My question is, Gilbert was an anchor on the show for many years. I heard him give an interview once, and he said he didn't know why he stopped being invited, and he was a little bit hurt financially and
Yes.
emotionally. Would you mind telling us why did you stop inviting
Not
Gilbert
at
on the
all. It wasn't any great mystery.
I'm happy to tell you.
I'll tell you what. How about when you call back in, I'll go through the whole story with you. Is that fair?
I would love that.
Okay.
Thank
All
you so
right,
much,
real
Howard.
good. All
And
right.
thank you for your
very
support of
much.
Gay people. Have a lovely day.
You
Bye-bye.
bet. All right.
Call back on Monday, Tuesday, every day. Make him a regular, Howard.
Oh,
What a
Your show's
bitch.
4 hours. You have one guest.
Oh, it's an easy
And
answer. I'll
what
tell
are
you
you
what.
going
I'll
to?
call back when I'll tell you.
I know. I would have thought that was arm too. I swear to you. The guy had like a cadence to his voice that was very arm-like. I agree.
Oh, I would have mentioned the grandfather thing would be the first thing I brought up. And I hear you're a grandfather.
He was a real
now
caller. I think he
as well.
trolled him, and I
So
think he got him. This is the whole reason he called, was to ask that question.
Yeah.
So if
the
you
fact
are
he said
somebody
that
who
Gilbert
listens to
was
this
hurt.
show, I am so proud of you. I cannot even begin to tell you.
If we're right about that. Hey, Marta D, you brought up Chuck Schumer before, and this is just a cute aside. We actually fooled Monique with a clip. Look at how much Mark Harris sounds like Chuck Schumer. It is uncanny, unbelievable.
They have that little slight gay cadence.
Yeah.
Cadence.
Well,
They have a little cadence to their voice.
little cadence, yes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and Gilbert was not poor. Can somebody look up Gilbert's net worth? I'm just
He
curious about
definitely
that.
he
was not
can't be
poor.
with all
Yeah,
that
he was not
voiceover
poor.
work. He can't.
I mean, he was on a Netflix documentary like a
the
year
thing
ago.
is, he never spent extravagantly. I mean,
Yeah,
really, he didn't.
He lived within his means. That is
Way within
absolutely
his
correct.
That's how you're supposed to play it.
But the interesting thing is that he wanted this guy to call in next week. So
Let's go to the calendar. April.
Don't go by that. He fucks that up all the time, Monique.
So let's go to calendar because I'm just really curious as to here. Let's just go to our calendar just really quickly. If all things are equal, he should be off next week.
He is.
Easter.
He announced he's off next week.
Right. So he did announce it. Okay.
announced-
'cause
yeah,
he's
that's why I'm
talking about
saying
this
that.
guy calling back next week so he can hear
Aha.
all the gay sexcapades.
Aha!
And that's
I
when
got
he
you.
would talk about, Gilbert and, what his thoughts are on Gilbert and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't think that's happening. So we shall bid you adieu.
Oh, what a shame.
I know it's a shame.
We were about to find out the real story.
Yeah, I know. The owl kills me. I have to tell you, it is the
It is
funniest thing
awesome.
to me about that whole clip. I cannot wait to hear May. Like, I feel like every week, every year, every
Thank you,
month
Jamie.
is going to be like a little bit ridiculous and a little bit different. Who's Jamie? Jamie's new. Thank you. First celebrity death that made me cry. Oh, interesting.
That's a good question. What celebrity death made you cry in the chat? Did you have?
I don't think
You're gonna
anybody's
get
ever made me
sarcastic
cry.
Oh
answers.
my
though.
God.
You're gonna get sociopathic.
I don't think I've ever
answers.
cried over a celebrity death.
I think Eddie Van Halen bummed me the fuck out because the childhood was over.
Chris
That bummed you
Cornell
out,
bothered
but
me.
That's
a
part
lot.
of your childhood.
But
Chris
did you
Cornell
cry?
bothered me a lot.
No, I didn't cry. What the fuck do you think? is
Wait,
wrong
I'm
with me?
sorry. What is this? What is this on Howard's Sean John tank top?
Oh no, Wayman Tisdale killed me. I was stayed in for 2 weeks.
Wow, yeah, that's kind of weird.
Considering John
Wayman
dated
Tisdale.
Gilbert's wife? What?
What?
We
What?
kissed.
That's true.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know.
I don't want to know, to be honest.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
look,
not- let's-
David, you are hardly the token gay. As the RG token gay, I'd like
Oh,
to
yeah.
figure out a way to troll Howard, but I really think this is beyond him being gay. He's bordering on Albert Fish, which you covered in Gunk in the Night. I know, but he's not making. Albert Fish was heinous, disturbing. He's every serial killer trope all boiled into one, right, Xavier?
Yum yum.
All right, num 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 num, and a little bit of a like little girls, 8 body parts,
Who doesn't?
crafted
Come on.
and
Come on, yeah. I
fashioned.
mean, a body part here and there,
Elitist.
Yeah.
Oh, John O'Reilly. That's a good. Philip Seymour Hoffman killed me. I was bothered by that too. That sucked.
You know my Philip
I
Seymour
agree.
Hoffman story, right?
Can I tell you my favorite Philip?
When you saw
Can I
the
tell you my?
baseball?
Can I tell you my?
Quickly tell us your favorite.
I'm gonna
When you
tell
saw
you
Seymour
my-
Hoffman
Hoffman story.
to him.
I only have one story. So I went to a movie the night that he died. I don't even remember what I went to see. I'm sitting next to this lady, who has popcorn with her. And I was into like a phase, I still am, of going to movies by myself. Like I don't
me
like to
too.
talk to anybody.
Yes.
I'm really happy with my popcorn and my Coke Zero, and I'm good to go.
I go to a black movie theater.
So I'm sitting next to this woman, and she's munching on a giant thing of popcorn. And I had a small, like I had the one in the paper bag, and she had the bucket. And she's like, I know I'm looking like a stress eater right now. She's like, but I had a very bad day. I'm like, why? What happened? She's like, well, I'm an EMT, and I was first on the scene for Philip Seymour Hoffman this morning. I was like, okay, well, that's horrible. She's like, no, you have
that's
no
terrible.
idea. She said it was absolutely horrible. His entire body, from the top of his head to the bottom of his toes, was purple. And she said it was just really disturbing. You could totally see that it was an overdose and that he had been there for a while. And it's just so weird that he had turned like so purple. It's like, that's the weirdest thing I've heard like all week. It was just like,
yeah.
it was just like
Purple.
such a random thing to say. And she wanted to just get it off her chest to somebody she didn't know. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like she just wanted to
Yep.
tell a stranger that she was there and she was first on the scene and there was paraphernalia all over the place and that he was fucking purple. So there's my.
He's such a virtuoso
I don't know who the fuck this
character
Phineas
actor.
is, but he never like contributes to the forum or
Fucking
to
dick.
Dick.
Yeah.
Fucking cat.
He's such a virtuoso
pussy.
character actor, and he had a sad look in his face.
Yeah,
and
he was
it
actually a
it
really
was-
good
it
actor,
fit-
and
he's
I did like him.
phenomenal.
No,
Again,
he was great.
I wouldn't
Yep.
cry, but okay.
I did.
Okay, so we are going to go on to, I think that's it for my clips. Yeah, well, that was such a great clip. I figured we'd end with that. So there's a couple of things I want to go through before we go to, you know what we're going to in a moment.
Cleaning out the computer.
So before
Monique.
we do that,
Dennis Miller hits you in there and goes, Monique is the Kevin Bacon of New York City celebrities, for Christ's sake.
I really kind of am 6 degrees of separation
really
from a lot
are.
of people
There's nobody
in
you
a weird
can't
way.
bring up.
For no good reason, though, too. You know, it's just living somewhere where this is what you do.
Thanks, Phineas.
I did want to throw up some stuff from various and sundry people, like this. This was from Mr. Judy Tenuta from today, saying, I can't believe that the Stern Show is promoting Gilbert and promoting themselves by promoting Gilbert. And the one quote that they would put there from Howard, which was, Gilbert was just the quickest guy on the planet. You didn't dare fuck with him. Howard remembers Gilbert Gottfried and his 100 plus appearances on the Stern Show. Okay, he hardly played anything from the appearances. He played a lot of shitty clips that they got off of YouTube, and this was purely Sirius's way of promoting the fact that Howard had some sort of relationship with Gilbert, and it was actually kind of disgusting.
And he was beneath him. That's the biggest
Exactly, and he was beneath him. The other thing I wanted to throw up here, I have a lot of MP4s, so hopefully I can play those vocally.
Vocally?
What meaning that
I know.
you know,
Thank you,
I
Sandy.
stutter a
Thank you,
little
Sandy.
bit
Thank
with
you,
the
Mike.
blah, 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 blah. I'm missing out on stuff on our chat.
Yeah.
Cindy
Oh my goodness,
Lou.
am I ever? Jesus, Louises.
You missed Phineas donated 1,000 Gunk coin.
Hey Mo, sorry Mo, $1,000 gun coin. Yeah, that's great. Okay, thanks, Phineas.
Cindy Lou, who is the comment?
Sin Lou. I love how Monique has far scumped her way.
Wow.
They're all true, though. I mean, you know, it's just
not a smart man.
Monique, you got a chat from the great Mike Redbar David.
I don't.
over here.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
When are you coming back, Redbar? Everybody wants to know. That's all I get is dialogue about that.
I have a way with stuttering John.
It's Canadian 279. What's
I
that?
think that's $1.99 American.
I think so.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
You know what?
Please come
You know
back.
what?
That's a
That,
taco.
what
Bucks
you
a
just
buck.
what you
I have
just
to call.
posted with the Gilbert and on the Stern Show Twitter? That's the same exact move that Beth pulled with Betty White, and then they
Yes.
called her
Oh,
a
yeah,
cunt
yeah.
the next week. Remember the second
Yes.
Betty White dies, like, oh, she was an animal lover. You should donate to Beth's furry friend.
That is the worst.
I mean,
that
that's
was
exactly what she
pretty
did.
low.
And so, like, they're doing the same move. Someone dies. Oh, you know what? Guess what? You should listen to the Howard Stern Show.
Yeah. Meanwhile, she
Everything-
said she wrote an amazing check, and everything sold out that she put up there, and they were delivering all the money directly to the Ukraine.
Nice baby voice.
We ran out of animals here.
Nice
I guess.
Arrested Development voice, Monique.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Marta, if you love my voice, I'm going to be doing the Deppening, I think, solo tomorrow until Sarah joins in. So
It was starting at
sick of my
1
voice.
o'clock in the afternoon.
no.
Ending at 9.
That's the
to
only
9 at night.
Yeah, he's taking the
Sa-
1 to 9.
Sarah's going to join at 4.
Okay, so I want to play something really creepy
Anyone
for
wants
you.
to join in, they're welcome.
A couple of people on Instagram have asked me about where they can find shows from like the early 2000s, late 1900s, 1900s.
No, I'm good for that.
1900s.
Hit me up at arm34.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my mother. Hello, my ragtime girl.
Send me a kiss, my wife. Honey, my heart's on fire. If you leave me, baby, see me, and I'll be left alone.
The fact that you know those words is
Write a
so
piano
frightening
solo,
to me.
David, to that.
No, but what I was going to say is that a lot of times there's
Everybody
guys
loves the
on
Michigan
YouTube
rags.
who have great.
Everybody loves the Michigan rags. Hop, jump, stop the jump, Michigan.
I'll take blame for that. I
Sorry.
started that. I'm sorry.
A lot of people have YouTube channels that are really, really good, that are chock full of amazing clips, but we never like to give them any type of quarter on the show because they immediately wind up getting canceled.
Yeah.
And so it's a kind of unwritten rule on the forum as well as here to never promote somebody's Stern channel
then they go,
because they wind up getting kished. I mean, that's really,
Kish.
they get kished.
You can
get kished.
tweet me at arm34 on or wino from
right.
underscore the Deppening, whatever you want. You got it.
Yes, Arm's tweet
appreciate
is in the information link below
It
the
isn't-
show.
It's down there.
Yeah, it's down.
It's down there.
It's down
If you
there.
want Mark Harris from 1998 singing the Bill Clinton song, "Dear President Clinton, you're disgraceful."
Are we getting
Can't you
porn
see?
spam now?
Yeah, we got porn spam. Wow.
Yeah, so
Huh?
what I'm
Hang on,
gonna do?
Let me screen cap that real quick for later.
Hey,
Okay,
it
so
looks like
there's
a good place.
two weird little clips I want to play, and these are from, let's see what year, 2007. Okay, so I am queued up for the first one. So give me one quick second, and
Hey,
then I'll cue
webcam
the
guy,
second
do you
one.
mind liking and subscribing to us? Just since
yeah.
you're here.
Like and
Oh,
subscribe.
let me throw that up here. Let me throw.
Like and subscribe right
Yeah,
there.
please
let me
like and
throw the like and
subscribe.
subscribe thing up there.
It's the least you can do if we're driving traffic to you.
Who?
Right there.
You don't see the porn spam
webcam.
on our chat?
Hey, you're missing
No.
all the porn scan. It's great.
Woohoo! Okay,
That's
Doug
what I'm just
Chat,
saying. I'm
18
just asking
plus.
if they could just like and subscribe since they're here.
You might as well.
Might as well.
Some-
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Just click on it.
Just listen to this. It's
Let's
just
watch
really
it.
curious to me.
Her girlfriend. Jesus.
Wow.
It just went on and
On and on and on, man. He really blasted her good.
But I did find it interesting that Rosie was upset. She said, you know, one of the things she yelled at Barbara was that I have reporters outside my house with my wife and kids.
Right.
You know, she's into that whole wife thing.
By the way, Donald Trump is not the only person talking. Gilbert's baby that is due in
Is
June.
Gilbert's baby commenting on the Rosie-Trump feud?
Yeah, I don't know about that,
Wow.
but the baby is
Listen to
talking
this.
already about Gilbert and how she feels about being his kid.
My daddy is so cheap. He still has his gift basket from his Arsenio appearance in 1986.
Wow.
Does anyone want to hear my daddy do his impression of a toaster? It's the greatest. I can't wait to get my hands on Daddy's Aladdin money when he croaks.
Right, Aladdin money.
Every penny of it, I bet.
That kid's going to be very, very well off with that Aladdin money.
When my daddy leaves for work, my mommy says, "Where did Hitler go wrong?"
You know, his baby starting to repeat jokes.
I know.
Baby, she's taking
Mommy
after
tells
me.
me, "Don't worry. Daddy is old and will die soon. Then we will be rich, and I can have a fun young father to play with."
I think Gilbert's kid will be one of those cool kids who actually
Oh,
does
yes.
have a social life and
Oh, yes.
friends.
Yes.
Can you imagine?
Was that Sandy Lou Who thinks that's Rachel Butera?
No, I don't think so.
No,
2007.
I don't think she was
she
with
was
the
part of
show
the show.
yet. She came in
No.
the Marcy year or a little before that. I don't think
Yeah.
she's.
And then
there
she
yet.
went away
Good
just as
call,
quickly.
though. Yeah, I know.
Okay,
She's
here we
talented.
go.
She's very talented.
Azores
move-
thinks
They
it's
don't
sour
deserve-
shoes. That could be
Could be.
possible. Yeah.
He
That's
does
Oh,
that
that's
baby
interesting.
voice.
Could be.
very well be.
All right, here we go.
Robin, what else is in the news?
We were talking about the Irwin family yesterday. We were talking about Bindi Irwin
geez.
getting her own
Here we go.
TV show. She's going to be Bindi the Jungle Girl.
Right.
I'd like to bendy her over.
And today,
Hey, Bendy, you want a bendy on this? Ow!
Nice Gottfried, over sexually aroused.
Yes.
Yes.
the wife,
Pedophile, nice guy.
right,
I'll
the
sting you with my stingray.
Steve Irwin was given the tape of his dying. You know, when
She
he got.
destroyed it.
Yeah, did she?
Yep. Yeah, they say it will never be seen.
No. They
It will
said it would never be
seen.
seen. It was given to her. Nobody said it was destroyed.
Well, if Bindi Irwin's show goes down in the ratings, if they say they'll show that tape, it'll go up.
You know what? They leaked the Saddam Hussein hanging tape, and we can't get the Steve Irwin.
I know.
I want to see that.
I don't know why the family is pushing Bindi Irwin to be a television star. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird. Steve Irwin, okay, he was in
I'm only pausing because I don't want to get in trouble. So
Right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That is why Gilbert's funny and Howard is not.
took me a
Oh
moment to
my
find
gosh.
the Bindi thing. It's really like
You know what?
It's so wrong.
it's so
You want a
wrong.
bendy on this?
How old was
Nick,
Bindi at the time?
I don't know. She was like 5,
12?
6
No,
or
no,
something. She was a kid.
She was a kid.
She was like legit a kid.
You got a year on that? What does it say? Is that what?
That's
what year is that?
2007.
He died,
2007.
right? Well, just look up the
2007.
year he
Yeah,
died.
it feels it.
All right, let me see if there's any more Bindi on this.
Animals. He was interesting. You watched him wrestle crocodiles. That was kind of cool. I understand
we
the appeal.
understand that they must be crazy, though, these people.
Yeah, they must be. Because, I mean, like, who cares if Bindi Irwin's on TV? Like, the mom should say, you know what? Dad's dead. Had a horrible ending to the fucking animals. And, you know, I don't need Bindi going into this line of work just because her dad was in it. Let her have her own personality.
What they're basically doing is shoving her at the animals to be eaten.
Next thing you know, she's going to have to wrestle a stingray. Me daddy told me to go wrestle the stingray, or whatever the fucking accent is. And I mean, it's ridiculous. And like, you know what? Let the kid be a little kid. Am I right or am I wrong?
I agree with you completely. It's ridiculous. It's child abuse.
Bindi Irwin's on tour. She's working with the Wiggles. I mean, come on. What is this?
It's their time to grieve.
Hi, everybody. It's Bindi Irwin. It's like, you know what? She's 9 years old. Let the kid be a kid.
Yeah, you're 9.
Stingray on the ball.
Hey, Bindi! Want to swim around my stingray? Oh!
That's been very controversial. They'll say anything. They'll say anything to get laughed.
We haven't brought them.
I've been out of that one. I'm saving you. I'm saving you.
Gilbert.
Gilbert, your father.
How do you dump out the title of Dice's autobiography?
I don't normally dump on satellite, but I saved the man. He's obviously having a nervous breakdown.
I love that.
I was thinking that too.
Oh my God!
I was thinking that too, Marty Lang. I miss Artie so much. She says I hear every time I hear that every time you see the dead air, that's exactly what Artie goes.
What did Gilbert say? Does anybody know?
It was something. He said it was Diceman's autobiography. Wasn't that like the Diceman comment?
No,
or
but
something?
I'm sure he said something really wrong.
That'd be something about. Oh God.
Really Bindi wrong. Really Bindi wrong.
Oh, that's right. He used to do the evil Pope. Remember that?
Oh, yes,
Dracula's voice.
I'm the Pope.
Two Masticos, Bindi Bobby Brown.
Yes, exactly. Oh, we know we didn't bring that up today. Maybe another day. But Millie Bobby Brown, Xavier had made a thread about how she felt very sexualized and objectified when she was a child.
Where does that go?
And
She's
how
still
it's right up
technically a
there.
child. She's going to turn 18 this year.
Oh my
She
God.
is still
Who's
so-
sexualized?
She's still there.
Besides Howard.
I didn't realize she was still that young. I had no idea.
I don't watch the show, but yeah, apparently the article may mention the fact that she turned 18 this year.
All right, that's really disturbing. That makes it's just so disturbing because he's been sexualizing her for about 5 years
I think
now?
she was
Who
like
else is sexualized besides
She was like 13, 14 when he was doing those.
Yeah, so about
fucking
5 years.
things.
Yeah.
Huh?
Okay, so there's a couple of more clips I want to play. John sent some as well, so let me just play a few here. Give me a second.
Apparently that George Takei roast is from the Friars Club. Remember they used to do those Friars Club roasts where they weren't really
What, babe?
televised?
What? Who are you talking to? What?
Somebody, maybe you.
What?
What was so vague about that?
Oh,
I sent you clips of Gilbert.
Yes, I have a whole bunch. I have a whole
It's a
bunch
Friars
of
Club
stuff.
roast, and I said one of them is a Friars Club roast, and they used to do Friars Club roasts that weren't really televised, but they had like a pool camera, and they would leak out, and that's what this is.
Thank you, Melvin.
Okay, so hang on 1 second because I'm going to do... All right, let me just do this one so I can clip out of the YouTube ones, and then we'll go to that right after this. I have them queued up. So just
I got to play this for Gilbert. We love this.
Home. I have no home. Hunted. Despised by the Negro. Living like an animal. The jungle is my home. Going out into the streets. Interviewing black people. That I can be a master.
Gilbert can't handle the competition.
So he's talking over.
So he's talking over the great scene from Ed Wood.
Yes, the great Martin Landau.
Yeah.
Who did the role so much better than
1998.
Gilbert feels he could have done it.
Yes. When he went out on the street, he actually got black people to answer.
That's right. Yes. Anything else in the news, Robin?
Unfortunately, new statistics show that almost half of all black children are living in poverty. And mostly it's because so many of them. Stop it. Calm yourself. Get hold of yourself, there, Gilbert.
He thinks the show's funny. Yeah.
likes our humor.
Here.
Yeah.
Because so many children are being raised in single-parent families.
That's right. There's a big problem with that.
There's a big problem with that. There'll be a big problem with that. Oh, yeah.
We got to stay with our family.
We gotta find out who our pappy is.
If all of us would stay with our family, then we wouldn't have this problem.
Nice accent.
If I could instigate this allegation for a second.
Yes.
Black people are going to beat you up.
I want to just be behind Gilbert as he walks
Right.
out.
Right, so there's some shocking news that the reason that there's a lot of black kids who don't have it together is because the fathers don't stay with the family.
Well, I didn't say anything about having it together. I'm simply
Right.
telling you they live in poverty.
I see.
I'm glad I'm tickling your fancy today, Jackie.
All right. Very good. There's some news that I didn't know.
Very sad.
Very sad state.
Very sad.
I love the FM static.
What were you more shocked by, that story or the Luganis AIDS story? All right.
There's one final story I really want to do, but I need to run and get it because it's not in here.
Where is it? Far? Is it in your apartment?
No, it's in the next room.
Oh, so go ahead. I'll kill some time with a couple of OOs. I'll give you a couple of plugs.
All right, you know how we love these stories of marital discord.
Yeah.
This is from El Paso, Texas. A marital dispute prompted a man to shoot his wife, chop up her body, and paint the parts in an attempt to conceal the evidence.
She must have really been nagging him.
It all started as a family dispute, Howard.
I see.
James Patrick Bradley had a history of domestic violence. He's been arrested a number of times.
And what did the wife say?
He was a former driver for a county drug and alcohol abuse center and remained in El Paso County Jail since his arrest on Tuesday in Lucas. Parts of the woman's body turned up in plastic bags, cardboard boxes, or blankets in various public places.
Well, I wish him luck in picking up the pieces.
In some cases, the parts were brightly painted.
When I was in Vietnam, we used to chop up goats and paint their parts, and that was just like a regular Saturday afternoon. Nobody thought twice. Was he a vet?
Police allege that Bradley, who is disabled and uses either a caliber handgun, the day after Valentine's Day, now on medication and under the care of a doctor. According to police, he was arrested 3 times in 1989 to 1990 on domestic dispute charges involving his first wife. None of those charges ended in conviction, though. They zeroed in on Bradley as more and more parts of her body continued to be deposited near the area of his house.
Well, you have to hand it to her.
A realistic composite drawing taken from a photograph of the severed head of the victim was shown on local television on Monday, prompting her family and friends to call and identify her.
So what did he do with the good part? What did he do with that? Did he paint that blue?
Sent it to Gilbert Gottfried.
What did he do with the Kluge? What did he do with the Kluge?
Yeah.
Where's the Kluge?
There's the Kluge. How could you throw away a perfectly good Kluge?
Maybe he didn't. I don't say that he sent all of her parts away.
Oh.
Kluge. Blue Kluge.
I get out of my coffin and search for Kluge. It doesn't even have to be attached to the rest of the body. As long as it's a Kluge. It's hand. That looks like a werewolf.
The killer was trying to cover his tracks. So he spray painted the body parts because he thought it was going to destroy or conceal the evidence.
Well, I don't think that he's guilty. Because I think it was the white cop who sprayed the body parts.
So that's what's happening.
Thank you, Rob.
Oh my God! Jesus. Yeah, Jamie Burrows says I prefer classic Stoner to dubbed VHS tape with commercials left in, preferably that static on that's my favorite part. You never get a copyright because it's got that FM just going out of range, static and that.
Just out of range, exactly.
You know, we could literally play a 5-minute Gilbert piece clip in every show, and it would never get tired of it.
Never gets old.
Never get tired
The
of it.
little things he said during that, though.
Just the giggle.
Yeah. Oh,
they're looking for Kluge.
The one they're looking for, it looks like a werewolf.
It doesn't even have to be attached to the body.
Two Master with a Gary Quick goes, the fidelity of this recording is a bit of a stumble.
Yes, exactly. But I love that about it. I love the rawness.
Oh
of
yeah, it
those
reminds
type
me of.
clips.
It reminds me when I listened to it in Florida because I listened from Orlando, and that's what it sounded like.
And it was a tight squeeze, right, to
It
get
was
that
very-
in just
very
perfectly.
tight squeeze.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
right,
so
Marta.
I'm
What do you do for black children, Robin? What exactly do you do for black children?
Exactly.
Nothing.
Okay, so where am I going now? So I have a lot of MP4s, but some of them I may not play the visual. I'm definitely going to do the Spits on the Cupcakes one.
How about the George Takei roast from the Friars Club?
George Takei. Do I want to do the Magic Johnson? Do we want to save that for something else?
Well, I mean, we're going to do that magic show. And
I would like to,
that's part of
especially
it.
since we're already at 122. So I would like to save that for something else. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to X out of it.
Well, you know what's funny? We were just about to play that last week, and Gilbert passes away. I mean, we were playing
it's so
that.
weird.
That was
I know.
queued up. It's such a fucking weird.
So let's do roasting George Takei. Okay. Now
Again,
this is
isn't
11 minutes, so I'm not really sure where.
Whatever you want to stop, I'm sure it's all good. This is a
Wait,
Friars
Gilbert-
Club roast that wasn't really televised. He just kind of recorded it there and then dropped it on YouTube.
So Gilbert went for 11 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Well, it might be the introduction and everything like that. So I'm going to see how much of it I can. Oh look, Phineas shit on his tail laughing. Oh, that's not you. Oh, that's not you. Gilbert had some gigs scheduled when he died, so he's so cheap he's going to have his corpse laid on stage so he doesn't have to go for refunds.
You know, Zuma wrote that yesterday.
Yeah, that was pretty funny yesterday too, Zuma.
It's funny every day.
Classic Zuma dog.
Not getting old. Not getting old. All right, here we go.
Hello, will you please welcome Mr. Gilbert Gottfried?
How's the sound on this? Okay.
Good,
Very
really
good.
good.
Very good.
And you know how I stutter on these. Jesus Christ. I wish.
Michael J. Fox.
Oh, dear God, get me that Matt Lauer roast. It's what I've been waiting for my entire career. Please let me roast Matt Lauer. That's all I ask. One where I can do a joke on your hair thinning or something. It's so much you can do about him. You know, sometimes I get accused of not preparing, but I did today. There'd be more faggot jokes than usual.
See, okay, hold on. I gotta figure out how to do this a
Usually
little
it's
bit
just
better.
old jokes, but now I got a bunch of old faggot jokes. And you know about being an old faggot. 3 fags are in a hot tub. All of a sudden, a big blob of semen floats to the top. One fag turns to the other and says, "All right, who farted?"
See what happens.
A guy's driving in his car. He crashes into another car. He gets out of his car. A fag jumps out of the other car. He goes, "Look what you did to my car. I'll sue you for $10,000. He goes, $10,000? You can suck my dick. He says, "Well, if you want to settle it outside of court." This one I really don't even understand that much. A fag goes his ass. That's the first thing they look at when a fag. He looks up his ass and he finds a bouquet of flowers. And he says, I don't know where these came from. And the fag goes, why don't you read the card?
Wow.
Another faggot goes to a doctor.
Impression George just to get the
He says, doctor, me and my boyfriend were fooling around, and he shoved a pair of eyeglasses up my ass. So the doctor is looking up his ass. He goes, I can't see anything. And the fag goes, that's funny, I see you perfectly. See, what the logic to that is, I don't understand.
Thank you, April. Welcome to the Radio Gunk
What, if you get fucked up the ass a lot, you can see out of your ass? It doesn't really... Somehow it works like a joke, but it makes no sense.
He explains the joke.
And so, and so a girl can see out of her cunt because I'm just asking. Another faggot goes to a doctor. The doctor prescribes suppositories to him. So he goes, well, I don't know if I can see my asshole to fit them in. The doctor says, here's what you do. Put a mirror on the ground, take your pants off, stand over the mirror, and then you can see your ass perfectly. So he goes home, puts a mirror on the ground, takes his pants off, and he looks down. All of a sudden, he gets a big throbbing hard on. He looks down at his dick, he goes, silly, it's just me.
My God.
What do you call a Jewish faggot? A Hebrew.
Oh!
George!
You know how two faggots settle an argument? They step outside and exchange blows. What do you call a Chinese faggot? Dicky Chin. How do you fit 4 faggots on a bar stool? Turn the stool upside down. Because then the legs go up there. Each one's like a pole and it's shoved up his ass. What do you call 5 faggots in a sleeping bag? A fruit roll-up.
Ah, that's so good.
How do you know you're at a gay picnic? All the hot dogs taste like shit. This would mean, of course, that when they go to a picnic, they shove
Oh, God.
hot dogs up their ass. I don't know.
He doesn't know.
This would mean at a straight picnic it would taste like pussy if we're going by the same logic. All I know is I want to get to a picnic right away. What's the difference
Thank you, Jamie.
He's so right.
between a refrigerator and a faggot? A refrigerator doesn't fart when you pull your meat out.
I agree.
It's a guy's first day in prison. He's crying, he's scared, and all the convict walks over to him. He goes, "Kid, that prison life's not so bad. Let me ask you something. You like baseball?" He goes, "Yeah, I like it. Every Monday we have a big baseball game in the yard. And you like movies?" He goes, "I love them. Every Tuesday we have a big movie show one more thing. Are you a homosexual? He goes, no. He goes, ooh, you're not gonna like Thursday. Now,
Big
George is sitting
wind-up.
there going, why wouldn't he like Thursday? What, they hold him down and fuck him in the ass? What's not to like? One guy's fucking him in the ass, the other guy's coming in his mouth. How would he not like a thing like that? Southern sheriff is driving along. He sees a naked man tied to a tree. He goes up to him. He goes, what happened to you? He goes, well, I was driving in my car. I picked up a hitchhiker. He pulled a gun on my car. He stole my money and clothes and left me tied to the tree. So the Southern sheriff opens his pants and goes, boy, this ain't your lucky day. And George, of course, is saying, no, it is his lucky day. He's tied to a tree, and a big Southerner's gonna fuck him in the ass. How could it not be his lucky day? You tell me what there's not to like about it. A big fat Southerner is gonna fuck you in the ass? Of course he enjoys it. It would be even better if he held a gun to his head and then shoved his dick in his ass. The only thing that would be better is if he fucks him in the ass, pulls his dick out, and then comes over his face. Oh, I'm sorry, I lost you on that. A woman is lying in a coma in the hospital. The nurse is watching her. She starts watching her vagina. The woman starts moaning. So she's it's even harder. The woman's moaning and biting her lip. She runs outside, tells the doctor. The doctor pulls the husband over and goes, look, I don't know if this will work, but it might help if you performed oral sex with your wife. So he climbs into bed, they pull the curtain shut. All of a sudden they hear a bell ring and they see it's a flat line. They go inside and the woman's dead. And they say to the husband, what happened? And the husband says, I don't know, I think she choked. And now George is sitting there going, well, that's a good way to die now. If I have to die, what better way than a big cock in my mouth? I can't imagine everyone has to die, but boy, a cock in the mouth, you can't ask for better than that. 3 salesmen go to a farmhouse. They say, can you put us up for the night? The farmer goes, well, I've got one big bed, and you can all fit in it. So they all lie side by side and then go to sleep. The next morning, the salesman on the right goes, boy, I had a great dream. I dreamt the girl was giving me a hand job. And the salesman on the left goes, that's funny, I dreamt the girl was giving me a hand job. And the salesman in the middle goes, I dreamt I was skiing. That's because he was jerking them off. He was jerking them off, but there was no ass fucking in that. I thought, I was pushing it a little too far the other way, so I wanted to end it where it's just a hand job joke and no ass fucking. Thank you.
Oh.
Wow.
I almost feel like we need to end on that. I'm so sorry.
It's hard not to, right?
It's hard not to.
So
I know
phenomenal.
we got Beetlejuice. I know we got
we got
the
next week. We got
cupcakes.
nothing else going on this week. We can do something.
Beautiful.
There is the genius. That is
Therein
Gilbert
lies
Gottfried.
the genius.
That is absolutely the genius.
Zuma
That
Dog
was-
writes here, oh my god, someone should take this routine and place it under the video of Aladdin's parrot and upload it to YouTube. It would make Disney go. That's the genius of Gilbert Zuma. How does he continue to work for Zuma? For Zuma. For
Zuma.
This long day. Sorry, for Deppening. And still do a routine like that. He's uncancelable. That's the genius of him. He can straddle both worlds.
that was delicious.
He kills every time. He's incapable of not killing.
So, as incredibly inappropriate as you could possibly be. I mean,
but even a
seriously.
really long setup, he still keeps you. You know, and you're
And
waiting
then,
and waiting.
and
for
then explaining it to
Explains
George,
the
as
joke.
if George doesn't understand the joke. So fucking
Oh,
delicious.
Johnny Troiano.
Thank you,
Wow.
Johnny. Rabbi Gottfried, thank you. Yeah, see, so this is the way you do a roast, and this is the way you do a tribute to a man who was incredibly funny and quite delicious. And
under
yeah.
an eclectic career too, outside of just
Oh my God.
inappropriate roasts. He
Just
had a-
delicious. That had me crying. I did star off 2 comments by our friend Bobby Gouvinel, and I wanted to read them to you real quick.
right.
Loved Gilbert. He was what my non-Jewish knowledge learned was a nebbish off the air. He inspired me, and I was so starstruck to do a show in L.A. with him, even if he was uncommunicative off air, actually.
I'd love to hear that story.
He is top 5 funny people I've ever met. I'm not talented like this level of people, but I think I had a good handle on what would work, and I know 100% Gilbert was the best, the absolute best.
A lot of people
So-
mirror that. When you ask people their favorite, like real comedy nerds and zealots, they bring him up as their favorite. He's in their top 5 because he's incapable of doing a bad job. He never sold. He really did. To work for Disney and not sell out is an impossibility, but he pulled it off.
Yeah, agreed. So before we end tonight's show, which was phenomenal, I teared up. I love
it was
something that
great.
makes me laugh so hard like that. What we wanted to play was a little surprise. And David, are you still in here?
Yeah, it could be.
I
He
haven't
usually
seen
is.
him in
He's
a few
always
minutes.
hovering.
So you all know that we like to put posts up from David the violinist on a constant basis because he really is very he's quite the wordsmith. And
Virtuoso.
He usually
There he is.
and it makes complete sense that he would be that type of virtuoso because most artistic people are amazing in both, artistic skills, linguistic skills, writing skills, and we kind of really, really adore him and think that he is just a really, really accomplished guy. So with that said, before we end the show with our stupid ending that we do all the time, we'd like to play you a little bit of David that Arm found on his Instagram channel.
It'll make you cry.
Well, we don't cry, you know
Well,
us. We're
we-
completely
we-
apathetic.
Think of Philip's funeral Hoffman dying when you listen to this.
Oh, this, by the way, was his tribute to Stephen Sondheim.
GB time. Look at David.
Abe took us is right though. Can we play Gilbert laughing under this?
Well, this is kind of like Gilbert passing away music. It's choking me up.
It's beautiful. Actually, it's very
In a
beautiful.
loop at his funeral.
To this.
What?
Alfie. 2 down.
Let me find Gilbert laughing.
WNBC clap. ending killed me. It's like the end of What's Eating Gilbert
I
Gottfried.
couldn't get it together.
Bindi!
I couldn't get it
Gilbert
together in
Gottfried?
time. Hold on.
That was beautiful, David.
Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can.
8 years old.
Hold on. Hold on. Wait.
Oh no!
We're back. Wait, for the audio action, the great Gilbert Gottfried's here. What's up, man?
Yes.
Look at you.
What?
How are you?
What did I do wrong now?
You did nothing.
Yeah.
You look perfect.
Yeah.
How are you, man?
Yeah, last time I was here after you begging me.
I'll save it for next week.
That was oddly phenomenal, Monique, putting that together with David.
Yeah, look. Yeah, because it's funny, because you always took care of yourself. So I can't understand how you would have...
A lot of people say to me, Artie, have you stopped drinking? I'm like, no, I stopped drinking in front of people.
Yeah.
No, but now I'm back. I'm healthier. As you can see, I'm healthier than ever.
Oh, yeah. You look
Artie
terrific.
survives.
I saw Gilbert at a comedy club recently, and he met my girlfriend, who's 29 years old, very pretty, and the first thing he said to her was, "Are you dying of the AIDS virus?" Which was very nice. She was not understanding our brand of humor.
Yeah, well,
she was a little taken aback by that.
I was thinking she had like maybe 2 days to live, so it didn't matter who she had sex with.
Well, it was a make-a-wish thing. Like, she made a wish.
Yeah.
She wanted to have sex with one. She was dying. I wanted to have sex with one celebrity.
Although I don't think Robert Reed from the Brady Bunch would have sex with you.
Robert. Wow. I wouldn't have sex with him either, though. That's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah. That's where we were running into a trouble.
All right.
That's a really funny idea, Monique. But that's really good. Excellent job.
Okay,
David,
well,
beautiful
there you go. There's
Thank you
our
for
tribute
joining us,
to
guys.
Gilbert in the easiest and most interesting way we could do it. Just stupid, funny clips that make us laugh, and yeah, that's it. That's all we got. So, sorry for Gilbert's family and for his 2 youngins and for his wife.
And his massive fan base that brought
but
joy
he
to
lived
every
a
day.
wonderfully large life, and he, you know, even in his weirdly nebbishy, strange way, he lived a much fuller life than Howard could ever live. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate all of you listening to us tonight and feeling as we felt for Gilbert's passing. And that's it. So yeah, to Master, I'm about to hit the outro on us. Thank you, David. You are a beautiful piano player.
Yes.
And we appreciate your profound words of wisdom when we do our show. Thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so that you know when we're going to have a new show. Thanks.